Guys, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks, right? It's been like a week, over a week since I made the last video. I wanted to talk about Redzone. I thought I for sure could just like wipe them out. I thought for sure I could just jump into those events, smack them around, come out with a W. Yeah, I know. But that was definitely not the case. It took me so long to make a video because I wanted to clear the levels before I talked about them. Because I wanted to have like a really good understanding and like really go through the slog before I even talked about it. Really wanted to gather my thoughts, and let me tell you, these took me over a week. Over a week of 3 lock attempts per day, getting smashed really easily on all of them. So when I beat them last night, I was to the moon, right? To the moon. I should have probably done them on camera. I was actually hanging out with my best friend, and we were watching Prey, the new Predator movie. If you haven't seen it, man, check it out. It's pretty good. It's actually like stellar. But for Bro, like these stages, man, out of all of them, the Broly for me wasn't the worst. But I died to Broly more times than anyone else. Just figuring out like when to use your items on Broly, I think, is key. But let me preface this by saying I'm going to show you the teams that I used to beat these events, but I will tell you, especially for Bojack and especially for Broly, I probably could not beat them consistently even with the same teams under the same circumstances. Like, you really need luck as part of your kit, and that's not on any card, man. You're just gonna need luck. I only beat Broly because he, in his AGL phase, there's the AGL phase. In that AGL phase, he can multi-super, he can super twice, and he supered my God Goku twice. For those of you that don't know, the God Goku has 77% damage reduction against pure Saiyans or movie bosses. So if he would have supered any other character in that lineup, literally any other character in that lineup, I'd be dead, and I wouldn't have cleared the Broly content. Now, Broly, the strength phase, this is the team that I used to defeat Broly. I literally burned both actives from both God Boys, and I burned the active and fusion for the SS4 boys, and I burned the revival for the Super Saiyan Gogeta on the end, and I burned the active for the 50% heal for Gogeta in the middle. Now, I have used this exact same team more than 20 times and have only come out with 1 W. During his strength phase, during the strength phase, I'm going to tell you straight up that phase 3, his super attacks hit everyone on the board. You will probably have to use both your Whis at once to even survive that attack. If you have any physical units on main rotation, or even floating into that slot 3, if you do not double Whis, you're probably gonna die. To me, I know it's garbage. I don't think that there should not be anything that damages us so much with teams that have over 700,000 HP that can kill us in 1 turn. I don't think there shouldn't be anything that can do 700,000 damage in 1 turn with 1 Whis active, let alone 2. I don't like how Broly is built. I don't like that particular strength phase. I think it's a little bit too much. If you're just not lucky, you lose. That's what it comes down to. Janemba wasn't too bad. I didn't really have that much problems with Janemba. I did use a remarkable similar team for Janemba. Remarkably similar, if not identical. Janemba didn't really have any tricks up his sleeve. He has a rage mechanic, but what works really well is the SS God Boys. They just have that super damaging active skill. I hit like an 11 mil crit on one. If you just double those up, you just stack these guys all the way to the last phase. and just look for the good opportunity and just use it as a finisher. It's not too bad. Bojack was the hardest for me personally. Um, this team is a little different because of the tech. He's tech at the end. Um, Literally all stackers. If you do not have this guy, it might be hard. Like, he's just the defensive king. Like, the defensive king in these stages. Like, I can't. He carries it as far as defense is concerned. Like, this guy can take supers. This guy can take normal attacks from movie bosses. He's a little dangerous in the Bojack, fighting like the Bojack squad, because none of those guys are movie bosses. So he can take a lot of damage. You're literally, like, if he's on your main rotation coming into that fight against the 4 Bojack boys or his crew, you're gonna want to float him off. You're gonna want to put him in like, not necessarily float him off, but put him in a spot where he's just not gonna get hit at all or minimal. But Bojack, in his last phase, he will prevent a character from moving, and he will seal another character or prevent one from moving and seal the same character. The only one that I had a hard time that cost me some wins on this is Vegeta. Only because if he doesn't get the orbs, or if he doesn't super first, he's not getting his defensive buff. And yeah, if he locks Vegeta in place before he can super, it can be, it's just, I think I went in and beat Turles one time. Like, Turles is super easy. My issue, I want to talk about Redzone in its entirety. Broly and Bojack in particular, I think they're too hard for the game at the moment. Like, if any event requires luck and the absolute at most like top tier characters to beat, like, if you go in with top tier characters and you can't win consistently, there's a problem. I think these stages they're too much at the moment, and having beat them, I don't think the rewards are worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. You get 5 stones for beating a stage, and you only get 7 tickets to summon on characters that aren't even GSSR. Like, imagine you fight Broly for 16 minutes, you go through your range of emotions to beat this guy, and then you come out with a couple SR Senshin runs that are just absolute garbage. Like, in my honest opinion, these stages are harder than ESBR. The rewards should have been on par or better than the ESBR and SBR. They should have just been better. Like, why couldn't there have been like a free to play like Lord Slug associated with this Redzone Movie Edition? Like, we really should have gotten something worth our time, because beyond the 35 stones, 40 stones we got for the 7 levels, that's not even a multi. That's not even a stone multi. The rewards for Redzone are absolute garbage for the amount of effort that it takes to even get in here. And I don't like to complain. Complaining is not really my thing. I love Dokkan, but this is, to me, my least favorite content in the game. When only 1%, 2% of characters are even viable to survive in this, and the rewards are bad, and you don't even get a multi out of it, you get... Like, what is happening here? I infinitely prefer World Tournament, which is also bad, because I can grind it out, get my 20 wins, get my free SSR tournament characters and move on with my day. Versus these where you only get three attempts per day. Hardest content in the game, and beyond that little tiny cleared star, you're not getting anything. That, like, Red Zone, I think, really needs to be taken off the game, rebalanced, and put back on, giving better rewards and just leveling out the difficulty. Or they really need to make new summonable characters on par with beating these events. Now, what I think we need consistently to beat these events is more damage reduction characters that do not have like restrictions. I think the God Goku in here is the utmost king here. We need more characters like that that do not have restrictions in the damage reduction. I think the upcoming HL Golden Frieza might be good in these events as well. Just because of his damage reduction. I know it like peters off as time goes on, but we need more characters like God Goku to just tank. When you have like an ESPR like 400k defense is a lot. In Red Zone, if you get Super with 400k defense, you're probably dead. It just feels too extreme. It feels like too much for what's currently available. Dokkan, if you're listening, I know you're probably not. If your content needs the stars to align, and for me to have the utmost luck on top of having the best quality tier units in the game, something's wrong. It's just like this is there. I don't think there's any free-to-play team that could probably beat Broly. I don't think that's a thing. I just like. Can we really just take a look at this, guys? Like, who? Please, maybe give us some better rewards. Maybe something worth our time. But I want you to tell me what was, how you feel Red Zone is like. What you feel Red Zone, how you feel about it. If you think it's great for the game, if you think it's kind of whatever, if you think the rewards were okay. Just let me know how you feel about Red Zone. At this particular moment, I have not beaten the GT one. When we beat the GT one, I'll go over some teams I used to beat that as well, just in case you guys are struggling. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep on keeping on, and I'll catch you here on the next one. Take it easy.